Hello everybody, my name is Aceface. I wanted to just make a short video just to talk to you guys a bit about something I've been thinking about. And that is that recently I've been doing a few Abyss runs with the Onyx right here. And I found that it's actually been going pretty good. And in general, I think the Onyx can have a few usages in PvE, even though it's not a particularly PvE focused chip. It's made for PvP actually, because it's got like bonuses to Warp Disruptor, field generator range, and these bubbles and that kind of stuff. Like it's a Hictor. It's like made to tackle stuff. It's not made to kill rats, but it works actually pretty good because it's got a really good tank. It's made to survive in combat in PvP situations and hold stuff down without dying very quickly. So it makes it a very good like tanking platform. And overall, it's got like some decent bonuses to damage. It's not the best damage. Heavy as Aquas are better damage, but it has a good tank. So it can have some usages in PvE. So what I wanted to I was curious, do you guys have any particular ships that you use that are maybe not for its intended purpose? Now what I mean by that is that, this ship right here is not particularly used for PvE, but I'm using it a bit in here now and then for PvE. I've also actually previously used it quite a bit in D&D hunting. I've been using it for, the 4 out of 10s in high sec. The Guristas ones, it works pretty good because you have really good kinetic resist. Makes so that you can just tank those guys so well. You just like go, even in the 5 out of 10, I just go in there, no problem. Just tank everything. It's okay, whatever, throw it all at me, Guristas. When you're sitting here with 76%, oh no, 84% kinetic resist, and I can optimize this. This is made for Abyss. But if I were to optimize it for Guristas, you could have even more, like 90% kinetic resist, and you would just tank them for days. So, I mean, it has some use in that regard. Another one is a ship I've considered to be using it for its not intended purpose was an Apocalypse, actually. I made a video on that a few weeks ago, where I used an Apocalypse for mining. Because the thing is, even though an Apocalypse is made for battle, it's made for combat. It's a combat capable ship. It's got a lot of high slots, good capacitor, a lot of fitting space. So for alpha clones who are limited to only using a Venture as a mining ship, you actually have the fitting capabilities to fit it with with fitting that allows you to fit all these miners and power them with capacitor, so you don't run out of cap, and you have the CPU to spare because the mining lasers use so much CPU compared to many other modules. So when you have all those high slots, it provides a decent mining ship for alpha clones, because alpha clones can't use anything but Venture, but they can use an Apocalypse. Some other ships I've considered to be using for maybe not their intended purpose was when I back in the day, I was like roaming around in high sec looking for wrecks to loot, because I noticed once that when I found a wreck that was of a Tech 2 ship or Tech 3 ship, I can't remember, one of the two. I think it might have been a Jackdaw or some heavy or some Assault frigate, something like that, like a Tech 2, Tech 3 ship. I salvaged it and I realized, whoa, you get really good salvage from this, because let's see if maybe I even still have the ship. Executioner, maybe, might be this one right here, Goblin. Because yeah, it might be this one, because I remember I had a black skin on it. The thing is, when you salvage the Tech 2 ships and Tech 3 ships, you can get very good salvage compared to Tech 1 ones. Tech 1 ships, when they die in those wrecks, salvage you get is really bad. But if you have the Tech 2 ships, Tech 3 ships, you can get some really good components. Some of those components, they can be these intact armor plates right here. They are worth quite a pretty penny. Intact armor plates, these ones right here. So they're 5 million each, and I mean, for a noob like me before, I was running around this tiny little ship right here, worth 2.7 million ISK. That was like double my ship just getting one of those. Sometimes you can get multiple of those from a salvage. So I actually use this to roam around in high sec to salvage stuff. I mean, it's not a particularly salvage capable ship, but I used it to salvage stuff because it was a very good ship for that. It was for now. Back in the day, I was an alpha clone, so I was trying to use ships that I could fly. I can't fly, like a very fast intercept or something like that. I wanted to have a very fast ship, so it was good. It was fast, good line time, very fast ship. And then I wanted to have something that could warp around fast with not warp around, but I mean MWD around quick as well, so that I could access wrecks that I wanted to salvage very quick before someone else salvages them. So what I would do was I'd go around in high sec and I would look for ships that had been destroyed, like maybe on Jita or some popular systems, like people who have been PvPing, and then just warp in there, just ninja salvage the stuff that was worth a lot, like the Tech 2 ships and Tech 3 ships. They could be worth a lot because in Jita, sometimes, well, I don't know if it's still a thing because I haven't really paid much attention, but at least back in the day, there was MTUs everywhere. I think they might have changed it so you can't use MTUs, I'm not sure. But at least back in the day, there were a ton of MTUs, and it pulled in any wreck that was created, or any ship that was destroyed. It would pull in the wreck that was near the station. So it was quite difficult to get these kind of wrecks to salvage them. So the only way really for me to combat this was to have a very quick ship like the Executioner, because it is quite a quick ship. So I was using my MW just to get really quick there and just salvage it before the MTUs were able to pull in the wrecks. So it was good in that regard. I was able to get some ISK from that. And one of the best actually like hauls I made was when I was using Zkill once, the website where you can see all these like wrecks or kills that have been recently occurring in New Eden. I once found that there was I think it was a Black Ops battleship. Which one was the Caldari one? The Widow, yeah, the Widow. This ship right here, the Widow. One of these had been destroyed, and then there was another one as well. So there's two Black Ops that were destroyed. This one, and there's the other one, the Minmatar one. What is it called? The Panther, I think. Panther. If we go in Panther, this is the ship I'm talking about. Panther. Yeah, this one exactly. So two of these guys, they'd been popped. I saw they were popped, and it was outside some random station in Jita, like not Jita, but like the Jita region, like one of these systems there nearby. And then I thought, oh wait, these ships are Tech 2 ships, but not only are they Tech 2 ships, but they're also battleships, and battleships, just in generally speaking, they give a bit more salvage than the smaller ships, because bigger ship, more components to salvage. So I remember finding, I was like, whoa, the wrecks haven't been salvaged, because I think a lot of other people do the same thing that I was doing at the time, at least. They were looking on Zkill for wrecks that had been destroyed, and they managed to find them, and often I'd get there and there's no wrecks left. But here I found these two battleship wrecks, salvaged them, got like, I can't remember how much it was, but it was a lot for the time, maybe 20, 30 minutes. Like, whoa, this is some decent ISK right there, and I just went there and salvaged it. So the Executioner, even though it's like a combat ship usually, was very good salvaging, ninja salvaging, particularly for high sec, where I was going around looking for valuable wrecks, like selected targeted wrecks, just to get the good ISK from them. Another ship that I've used that is not for the intended purpose is the just destroyers. A lot of people use them for this purpose, salvaging. And like, let's see if we have a maybe Catalyst, maybe Coercer, maybe AFK Salvage. I call this Salvage. And this was a salvage I'd have back in the day. I think it was for missions. I can't remember what I used it for, but it was at least for salvaging. These work in a similar way how I was explaining before, that an Apocalypse can be used for mining, because they've got a lot of high slots. It's good to have a lot of high slots if you want to get salvage stuff fast or mine stuff fast. And unlike miners, you don't need as much CPU for salvages, so you can get by just salvaging stuff in Destroyer. And low skill points, just a Destroyer. Alpha clones can use this as well, and you just salvage stuff really fast. You don't need a Noctis or anything like that. It's not as good as a Noctis, but it's still very like pretty proficient salvager. And it's not at all really what destroyers are usually used for. They're made to destroy stuff. Just kidding. But like, they're, combat ships. They're made to wreck stuff. And here we are doing a salvage activity right here. Another ship that I don't use for, or I use for a purpose that is not its intended purpose, is Synthesis. Now, I've used Synthesis so much in hauling stuff. I make videos on this all the time, but they're really good at hauling stuff, because Synthesis have really good cargo bay. They also have very good align time. Combine good align time with cargo bay, you have a really good haul of fire sec, because you can just go around, zip around, carry a bunch of stuff, and not have to worry about getting popped. It is a very, very, like my number one favorite hauling ship. For my activity, I don't haul a bunch of stuff like, freighters. You need like hundreds of thousands of cubic meters you'd have there. Some people move a bunch of minerals, something like that. I don't usually have those kind of purposes. I mean, sometimes I need to move stuff, but I think usually 1k M3 is enough. 1k cubic meters is fine for my kind of activities I usually do. So I really love using Synthesis for that regard. So those are some ships that are used for purposes that are not necessarily their intended purposes. I really want to know if there are any kind of ships you guys use that are not for their intended purposes. Down in the comment section below, I'd be very curious what kind of other creative ideas people have come up with. I'm sure that there are many kind of things people use, probably for capitals. There's maybe a thing, because I know that there are some people who mine in capitals or just for fun. Like, it was not really an effective thing, but I know people back in the day, I think they did mine in Revelations, and I know that there is that guy, Triba. He mined stuff in Revelation in high sec because he's got a dread in high sec here from back in the day where you could have dreadnoughts in high sec. So I'm curious, what kind of stuff do you guys use that is maybe not the typical use of your ship or the intended lore, quote unquote, lore purpose of this ship? I'm not meaning like, oh, it's strange that, or like, it's not uncommon that people salvage stuff in destroyers like I'm doing. But what I mean is, like, lore wise, like, they don't really, they won't intend lore wise a destroyer is made for salvaging stuff. But that's what we use in game. Well, I'm curious, what kind of things do you use? Let me know in the comments down below. So that was a little bit of a short one. Just wanted to talk about something that came to my mind now that I was just ship spinning in Jita. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later.